here, and we're going to take it from there. Doing a couple of invites while I'm waiting on some people to come in. Just to go over a few things today. Well, I'm really going to talk about power dynamics. All right. So how y'all doing today? What's good? What's good? Come on in. Invite your friends. So today, I'm going to get right into it. I'm going to talk about power. Because power is a very peculiar thing. And I said that word deliberately, percurious. Which is not a real word. I just made that shit up. But power can corrupt. And absolute power can corrupt absolutely. Thus saith Winston Churchill. And they said that the truth is so valuable, it must be carefully guarded by a ring of lies. Now, we got a lot of people depending on the teachers on social media to give them the information and allow them to wake from the slumber. Some of us on social platforms tend to think that this social media shit is more valuable than it really is, or it's more important than it really is. This shit is nothing. Social media is just a media for us to communicate with our people at the grassroots level. Now, there are some things that I would like to address, but I'm not finna address them right now. But I'm gonna tell y'all this. When they fucking with me, they don't understand who they fucking with. Right? But it won't be strangers coming to tell you when you pick on the wrong people. Your own people is gonna come tell you picking on the wrong people. Right? Now, my job is to simply purvey information to the masses and to alert them to the chairman is a spokesperson for all the chiefs on the land. The chairman is Larry Hoover. Free Larry Hoover is the battle cry. The things that come along with the Free Larry Hoover agenda includes the release of all political prisoners from prison. It also to raise the matriarchy, to restore balance to the land and balance to the people. Right? So my interest is not to be on here gangbanging. I'm with the shits. Everybody know me, know I'm with the bullshit. I'm with that low vibrational shit because I can vibrate low and high at the same time and everybody can't do it. But I'm with the shits. But the agenda that's in front of me is bigger than any other naysayers' opinions behind me. Mind you, I said behind me because that's where they at, in my rearview mirror. I don't have to come on here and bash anybody else to give y'all this information. Right? So I don't come on here bashing motherfuckers unless I have to. Now, some people, Big Mama say drag them out. There is no mercy when Big Mama say get your ass. Ain't no mercy. And it's mad receipts. Every time I come at a motherfucker head, I'm going to produce the receipts. The receipts can come in the form, any form, including witnesses to your dirt. So, I haven't been going live because I haven't had shit to talk about, right? I'm on here redundantly telling y'all the same thing. Each one teach one that we all might reach some, right? And I don't have to tell nobody nothing. If they want to know what I got to say, they know where I'm at. I'm not hard to find on social media or in person. I ain't hard to find. They can call me direct on social media, on Instagram, or on motherfucking Facebook. There's no obstacle to communicating with me for anybody that want to communicate. Now, once I done dragged the motherfucker out and proved that these motherfuckers is a fraud, they better not call me. That's a whole nother animal. Now, if a person got a problem with me, the problem 9 out of 10 is they don't know all the shit I know. And my give a fuck meter barely move for a motherfucker's opinion, errant statements. That shit don't move my give a fuck meter. The only motherfucker can move my give a fuck meter is Big Mama. When she tell me now you deal with that, then that's when it get dealt with. And today we dealing with understanding that power has to be handled with care like a fragile vase. Right? And once you encounter power of any sort, if you don't use it correctly, it's going to blow up in your face. It's like holding a bomb and you don't even know somebody detonated. Don't make shit blow up in your face by picking on the wrong people. Right? So as soon as I start to give a fuck, that's when we gonna have a problem. But as of right now, I haven't seen anything that requires me to give a fuck about addressing the individual on any level. Cause ain't none of these motherfuckers on my level. Right? But that doesn't make me better than them. Right? That don't make me a big I versus they little you. It just means my job was different. And because I had a different job, it required me to take a different position. So now what we have to do is we have to continue to get the message out. Free Larry Hoover. We have to keep on getting the message out until the people understand that the United States corporation is over with. That shit in the history books. Watch what happened to the money in the next week. All these motherfuckers that's chasing the bag. Watch what happened to the money. When they seized banks for fraud, for mortgage fraud, and for lending and borrowing violations across the board, all of the banks is dirty and guilty. They all tie into the central banks called the Federal Reserve, which is also closed. So if you don't see the money falling, you're going to keep chasing a falling dream. This shit is over with. Right? So when motherfuckers is trying to overcharge the people for some shit that they can't possibly do because it's against the laws of the universe, I gotta tell you, when somebody in here trying to hustle you out of the money and enrich themselves off your ancestral misery and suffering, I have to tell you, right? And so now what we about to see following the laptop of Hunter Biden is a series of unfortunate events for those who are in love with the almighty dollar and believe that the dollar is their God. Your God is about to be speared in the chest with a wooden stake, that blood-sucking vampire. So keep on rustling the people, begging, misleading, and telling lies. And I'm going to keep telling them the truth. And I'm going to keep exposing whatever Big Mama tell me to expose. And I'm going to address anything that Big Mama tell me to address. Which brings me to Brother Rich 363 and his Patreon. I had a couple of people that believe for some reason that me going on his Patreon have anything to do with me not charging for my information. Just because I don't charge doesn't mean that if I go to somebody else's platform, they won't be charging. That's not my responsibility to regulate an adult's business practices. I got to go where the people at. It's people on Patreon that's not on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube. And that's because they don't want the headache that come to dealing with all these low vibrational, tacky ass individuals who put shit out in the open that they don't have anything to support. Right? So I have to go wherever the people need to hear the information in order for them to know where I'm at. So if somebody charge on a platform, that has nothing to do with me. I don't charge shit for this information I give out for free on a regular basis. 90% of the motherfuckers complaining not going to go back and watch shit I did 3 years ago when I was getting started in teaching. They not going to go. That's require them to be invested in their own liberation. Most motherfuckers ain't invested until they see the system fall. Most motherfuckers want you to do the work, and if you don't do it the way that they think you should be doing it, then you got to be wrong. It's the same way every motherfucking leader in our community. This is why don't nobody want no leadership role with us. I don't know nobody that would pick a leadership role in our community based on what we've been seeing with our leadership. The people don't support the leaders. The leader get taken away. Oh, well, that's another nigga gone. Now, who can I go follow now? Like blind sheep. Not me. This is why I don't have a congregating location, a physical building. I could have been did that shit. I had businesses that I closed. I had a lucrative job that I left to teach my people who the enemy was and how they was deceiving us and how they was misleading us and turning us against each other and using our ignorance to capitalize on and how they method of operation, how they work, they whole Hegelian dialectic, problem, reaction, solution bullshit, right? So when I know how they operate, I see it coming before it get here. Just because I don't say nothing, it don't mean I don't know nothing. Because I don't tell everything I know. Right? But everything I tell y'all can bank on that shit because I'm not going to speak presumptuously. A little knowledge is more dangerous than none at all. Because the motherfuckers that presume to know have to patchwork their shit with lies in order to make it seem like they know what they talking about. I don't have to do that. I can go tell you where to find the information. And it ain't that I didn't never know this shit. It's just that I needed to study all that shit so I can tell y'all where the references was. Now I know where all of the references was. Now I know where to point y'all to look. This is the rock. Pick that motherfucker up. I leaves no stone unturned. Right? So I don't have no problem with a motherfucker just because they got a problem with me. First of all, we not beefing unless you my equal. And I haven't seen somebody that's on here that I should be beefing with. In other words, I haven't seen nobody information, comparatively speaking, that would lead me to have a dispute with them in order to iron out the differences. I haven't seen that. There's probably somebody on here, but I just haven't ran across them yet. And normally, if I address their information, it's because they wrong. But normally, I don't even address their information unless somebody directly asks me. Right? Now, it's a few people that got a problem with me that I never had a problem with. Right? So, they can take their problem, wrap that motherfucker around a cardboard core and use that motherfucker for toilet paper. Because that's about how much I give a fuck about a motherfucker having a problem with me. My agenda not going to change. Free Larry Hoover is my agenda. Raise the matriarchy is my agenda. Restore the land back to the people is my agenda. Right? Oust the imposters is my agenda. Anything other than that, my give a fuck meter not gonna move. So if you want to go against what's righteous, then you might be able to get my attention and get a rise out of me to address some bullshit in the open. I'm with the shits, right? I'm with all the smoke. I want all the smoke, but I'm not going to get no smoking if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm gonna keep my motherfucking mouth shut. But when I come for the smoke, I'm gonna come right because I'm gonna be right. I'm not gonna pick on nobody. I'm not going to harass nobody, and I'm not kissing that nigga ass. If you need me to kiss your ass in order for you to feel like you have personal value, fuck you. And the ass you need kissed. I will kick that motherfucker. I'm not kissing it. Now, brother got mad at me and was bad mouthing me, and Big Mama told me to reach out to him. So I reached out to him, and he was mad at me because I read his message and didn't respond. And I thought to myself, that motherfucker got a lot of motherfucking balls. I'm not obligated to respond to damn motherfucker. I'm not obligated to answer nobody questions or phone calls. I'm not obligated and beholden to damn motherfucker watching. Everything I'm doing it from the kindness of my heart, out of the goodness of who I am, in order to wake my motherfucking people up about the condition we in, that we moving into a new agenda that's based on us this time. And anybody that's not with that, well, that's on you. You won't be here when it's over with because you're going to be grouped right on in with the fucking enemies. And you know how we treat the enemies, especially these niggas from Chicago, right? So we don't have no problem with giving the enemy what the enemy got coming once he's established himself as the enemy. As far as the family members that might run astray, well, we got a way to put them back in their place too, right? And all of us work together from different sides of the town in order to alert our people, this shit is over with. Yeah. So the people that's probably the agent is the motherfuckers that's calling me an agent. If I was an agent, I wouldn't do this shit for free, and I wouldn't be telling y'all the fucking truth. And I wouldn't be giving up all of the receipts that you can scroll my pages, all receipts. Don't nobody got more receipts than me but Malachi Z. York. Period. Don't nobody got more receipts than me other than Malachi Z. York, the master teacher. My teacher, right? I'm the master student of the master teacher. So, don't argue with me. Beef with them receipts. That's what you go beef with. I told y'all these motherfuckers look like us, but they not us. You can tell who they is by how they move. Right? So when they sitting here laughing at me and they saying that we only been working on this shit 6 months. Larry been working on this shit 50 years. Now you tell me how long do it take? Right? So, as far as the family business go, folks address folks. On folks' time. That's on boss. You know? And fucking with me like fucking with Hoover. That's Hoyas on your motherfucking ass. Right? That's that bulldog shit. Don't matter to me. They can get it however they want it. I'm going to tell you this. This shit is over. The government has failed in y'all face, but y'all watching the stage show play out in social and public media. And that shit about to fall next. Because soon as the situation revealed a whole fraud that they was running, because it has to be revealed, all they dirt has to come to the surface. Right? And when they dirt come to the surface, and when all of this shit sorted out, y'all gonna be like, damn, Rod, the only one of them niggas was right. Right? It's a couple more on here. Brothers that got all of the good in them and motherfuckers still want to chop them down. Right? Motherfuckers got upset and offended because me and Khalid didn't have a full-fledged argument and debate session when we talk. That's my brother. Anybody don't like it can kiss his ass and man too. Right? He probably don't want his ass dirty with y'all riding lips. But you can kiss man. What we gonna do now? It look like I got a couple of questions. I'm gonna answer a couple questions, then I'm gonna save this video. I got a little while longer. Yep, so Emmy will tell me that the truckers is on strike, so y'all need to know that, because that's a food shortage in the making. Y'all also need to know that there's huge ships over Vegas, Chicago, Atlanta, and Los Angeles right now. Y'all also need to know that the erratic weather patterns is telling y'all something, and y'all need to pay attention. Larry ain't never killed nobody. To come in, she might want some questions she want to ask me.
Right. Hey, I'm so happy to be in here with you, man. You have no idea. Oh my goodness.
I'm loving your
You
energy.
accepted it. Blessings to you. Many blessings to you. First of all, like for real, like everything you be saying, I love, love, love. Like for real, for real. They need to give you your flowers now. All of them. All of them, man. You killed it on the live the other night on Black Magic. Like, killed it. So, like, you deserve it. For real.
Look, if they want to give me my flowers, the best thing they can do is spread the word. Free Larry Hoover, raise the
Free Larry Hoover. I know that's right. Yes.
I'm good with that. I don't need nothing after that.
Yes, I know that's right.
Once we see Three Kings walking, I got Pharaoh money.
Okay.
So I'm not even worried about it.
I know that's right.
I already been putting my work in.
Okay, you have though. No, for real. Honestly, like you have taught me so much. It's so crazy, but you really, really have like opened my eyes to so much, and I thank you for that. So I really wanted to just tell you that like you truly deserve it. Because when I watched the other day, on Black Magic and you were talking and stuff, like all the stuff you say is so informative and it's like, wow, like it really makes you think. Like when you were talking about Antarctica and stuff and what's behind the wall and like everything you were saying, it's like I'm getting there with you on the spiritual level, spiritual aspect, opening up and all that kind of stuff. So I appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
And I just wanted to tell you that.
You know, that's what makes this worth it. You know,
yes.
One compliment override 10,000 naysayers to me.
Oh, you deserve it. You do, man. I'm telling you, you're like a walking, like you know so much, and I love it because like every question you was coming with the answer, like you like a walking encyclopedia for real, man. Like you just keep doing what you do because you are the best. Like you really are. Many blessings to you on your life, and I pray long life over you because I'm telling you, man, people need to hear the stuff that you're saying, and they need to know it. And I'm just glad that someone is actually stepping up and saying it. So I thank you. I do.
You know, today I got a call from the guy who is the curator from the largest African museum of artifacts in America that weren't stolen.
Wow.
He said, he said, I gotta always put the wasn't stolen behind it because so many people pillaged the continent.
Dang, man. That's crazy. That's crazy.
So I asked him, I said, do you know why the Africans donated all of those artifacts? And he was telling me, that the British was pillaging. I know, that's not why.
What did you tell him?
It's a Pan-African connection.
Okay.
Comparative analysis of their artifacts over there and ours over here. Tell us.
Is it true? Is it true, Rod, not to interrupt you at all, but is it true that like some of these artifacts, like if we were to be around these artifacts that are from our people, that we could like literally energetically pick up on energy or things connected to these items? Is that true?
Yeah, that's 100% true.
Wow.
Some of the artifacts will be calibrated to your bloodline.
Wow.
One of your ancestors, let's say it's a sword, right?
Yes.
The melting process of the sword while it was hot, they either burned as a brand one of your ancestors, or they dripped cut their hand and drip their blood on it so that it's tied to the family.
Wow, that's deep. That's deep. So it does hold their energy in it. That's deep. And I feel like they know this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like they know that it would do something to us, or like open something up in us, or like, you know what I mean?
Like if we looking at one of those hieroglyph walls,
yeah,
have the blood of the pharaohs, it doesn't look like a bunch of painting on the wall to us. It plays out like a cartoon.
Like a
right in front of our face while we looking at it. It's like a whole cartoon skit being played out.
Right. You're so right. And you know what's so crazy? When you were talking the other night and you were bringing up Thor, the movie, it's like now when I start thinking about these movies, because you were talking about that scene in Thor and how basically like we have someone that does sit and kind of like delegate who comes in and comes out. But it's so crazy when you start looking at these movies now, they really do kind of give you a blueprint in a sense to what could be actually happening right now. And that's so crazy when you really think that it's reality and it's not really fiction, like you were saying.
Mm-hmm. Like if you remember at the beginning of Ragnarok, the lady that came at the beginning and she was Thor's sister, right?
Yes.
That was Helen.
Okay. Now
remember, you have to have a pure heart to wield Thor's hammer.
Yes, because nobody could move that hammer. Nobody.
He threw it at her and she crushed that bitch.
Yes. So she was pure-hearted. You're right.
Not only was she pure-hearted, she was a much higher rank than anybody they had encountered.
Oh, okay.
Why was she dressed in black would be the next question.
Yeah, why would she be dressed in black then? Because wouldn't it be white?
The Black Madonna. Big Mama always wore.
Because white means purity, though, right?
Sometimes, but the black is the infinite.
Okay. Oh, okay. Come on now.
When you look at the Catholic Church, the Pope wears white, but the nuns wear black.
They do.
The nuns originally wore white, and the lady is supposed to be a woman where the Pope sits.
It's supposed to be female. And you know what? I can believe that. I can so believe that it would be a feminine energy.
Yeah, so she was the grand matriarch of Earth.
Yes.
That's called the Isis seat.
Wow. So they flipped everything when they put the masculine there, right? When they put the man in that power.
But watch what they did. If a man sit in Isis' chair, the whole system is scrapped. So they suspended it 30 feet over the Pope's throne.
Wow. So indirectly, we've been messing things up just by having a masculine in that seat.
That was their goal. That was
their goal, to mess it all up. Dang, man, this is deep. This is deep, Rod. I'm telling you, man, you are the bomb.com. I don't care what nobody say. You got it. You got it. And I thank you so much, like I said, because it teaches me so much and you've opened my eyes. And like, I really do look up to you. I really do. I appreciate you so much. So I just had to step in here and tell you, like, for real, you deserve it. You deserve all the flowers, and just keep breaking their necks and bringing that information, because I'm telling you the truth. You really are the truth. The enemy gonna try you, but you the truth. Okay, Rod? Just know.
Oh,
Okay, for real, because the
they
enemy
trying
be
me my whole
trying to
life.
truth people for real, but you the truth, okay?
Look, they been trying me my whole life, and they always some kind of way
I
don't
know,
win.
right? It be the ones, they be so sick. They be like, dang, he's still going. Yes, you still going. So I just had to tell you for real, man. I from like the bottom of my heart, this therapy with Miss T over here, but I appreciate you, okay? I just had to let you know that. And I thank you so much for all your knowledge and information, and just keep blessing us with it, and just pray over you and for you. And I pray it, man. You like my teacher. You really are. You like the elders, and we need you.
All right,
We
I'm gonna
need
take
you.
another caller.
Blessings, though. Blessings, P. Thank you. Yeah, no, thank you for taking me. Blessings. All right. Bye, Rod.
All right, I see you, sweetie.
Okay.
So Lamar Donahue, see if he can come in. Okay, let me see. Oh,
How you doing, Rob? Appreciate you. Appreciate you, God. Let
what's
me in,
going
man.
on with you, guy, buddy?
Yeah, I appreciate that follow too.
For
I had
sure.
I'm 21, and I'm connected to a lot of the Oklahoma tribes. To the Creek, Chickasaw, and the Choctaw. My great grandfather actually came out of Ohio, so I wanted you to help me. Can you point me in the direction exactly how to connect to my family? Also, I like what you said, how we have our own weapons that maybe our blood has been poured into.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I'm really just trying to find better ways to connect. I've been soaking in all this information, dreams getting
Look,
more.
so let me answer the first part, and you already mentioned you tied to the Oklahoma, to the Cree, to the Choctaw, Chickasaw, right? Study them, and the more you learn about the tribe, the more it activates your DNA, and it's gonna call in your tribes. People gonna start showing up with pieces to the puzzle. So
Okay, I got you. I got you.
when you already know where the bloodline at, that's what you study. The more you study it, and the more knowledge you become of the bloodline, the tribal traditions, customs, then you start calling in the ethers, in the spirit realm, the rest of the tribe together, right? So all of those
I'm gonna
tribes
start to
sent
gather from you.
soldiers, all of those tribes sent soldiers to fight in the Seminole Wars. Every tribe that's how they was able to say that our land was abandoned. Because we all went from west to east, southeast to Florida to fight Seminole Wars, right? And we was leaving our family,
Yep.
Alabama, Mississippi, and New Orleans into Texas, right? Now
Yeah.
that we starting to wake up from the slumber, we had to start studying the tribe that our ancestors said we was from. But some of us didn't tell us where we was from. Some of them just said we Indian, or we got Indian in our blood, like that, because they don't want us to get murdered for trying to reclaim the land without knowing exactly what's taking place because the enemy look just like us, but they ain't us.
Exactly. Yeah. I was who, and we just got in that bit. Another one of them online fighting arguments.
Who?
And then that led me to this live right here, and it posed some more things for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's the starter kit to activate more of your DNA on your tribe. Study the tribal customs and traditions, rituals, and all that stuff that you can get your hands on. And it's more of it written than you could possibly imagine. Right? But when you reviewing it, you have to go through your own filtration process, asking yourself all the time, is this how my people move? Then you think about your family, how your family move. Right? So now you matching the old up to the new. It's certain parts of our culture that they can't erase because of who we are.
Exactly.
A lot of it is our musical prowess and our propensity for dance.
You
know, so that's just the starter kit.
I appreciate that. Yeah, it's just a starter kit. All right.
Yep. So
I've been taking my Arataki. Right,
I'm gonna take another call. Yep. So I don't have that much. Time on this one because I got something else to do shortly.
All right. I appreciate you, God.
All right.
Free Larry.
Free Larry Hoover. See if they let her in. Okay. See if they let her in. Apparently, Instagram don't like me bringing guests in today. Hey.
Peace and unity. How are you?
How you doing, sweetie?
I'm doing great. I'm having like a fantastic day, week.
That's always good to see.
Okay, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. But that's awesome. How are you?
I'm good. So what's going on with you?
Shoot. Like on the real, or just like surface level conversation type stuff?
Wherever you want to go with it.
All right, cool. So like on the real, me and my friends, bruh, y'all always want to do this to me. Y'all always want to do that to me. Talk about, hold on a second. Nah, they said she about high. I'm not, bro, what? But no, I appreciate you. Ellie always has the cutest hairstyles. Thank you. But me and my friends have been on like very, very deep meditation and rituals and stuff like that. So literally whatever we're talking about and doing is manifesting darn near instantly. Literally today, we were figuring out a situation. We had a dilemma. So we were like, okay, let's hit this meditation. We have specific intentions that we've already charged a lot of energy behind, and we've used them consistently. So we use the meditation. Situation gets cleared up within minutes. And it's been like that for really months now.
Yeah. So that's one of the things that's coming in with the new energy is the accelerated manifestation of desires. You know, and if you're doing the rituals right, they have to manifest.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and when I say doing the rituals right, some people be like, you can't get nobody no rules. It's not rules. It's just the way that it work.
Right.
And they think it's a rule because if you do it the way that it worked, they want to take process out of the process. You can't remove the process, right?
Exactly.
And the bigger the thing is, the longer it takes to manifest.
That's very true. Because it's like the minor situations, it like you said, like the minor situations, you just boop, they go away. Or minor manifested. Literally, I had manifested probably $250, almost $300 in the past week and a half. So after changing my mindset and realizing, like with my affirmations, right? With my affirmations, I had to make this a goal daily so that this is no longer like a big number to me.
Mm-hmm.
And so once I did that mentally and understood it to the fullest, is just manifestations happening immediately. So, you know, that's been
50% of manifestation is writing it down.
Okay.
That's half of it. That's half of it there, because what you did is you took it from the mental and brought it into 3D.
Great.
See, so now you got a jump start. That's like you get a motorcycle and you got to prime the engine because it's been in the garage. You got to get the gas going through the gas line first, right? So that's where writing it down is the primer to get it to flowing into the reality. Okay. Because you already created in the mental world. Because in order for you to write it down, you had to see it mentally.
Yes.
Right? Now, once you see it mentally, then you put it on paper. The next thing it is left, ain't nothing left but to see it physically. Right.
Exactly. And like the other amount, like, because what I do is for my rituals, I have checks that I write, and then, you know, I put the amount on it, then I burn it. So this is one of the check amounts. What? Do they got it paused for y'all? Okay. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. They had it paused for me. And then the amounts just go higher and higher. So 15. Then we got 150. And these are for my friends. One is 175,000. And then the other one is 101,500. And so literally it's like, it's not just me doing it just to do it. It's sincerely, like, I do it for my friends. I do it for my YouTube subscribers. So I call my YouTube subscribers Rainicorns. So I have written, literally my subscribers, I've written Rainicorns 2 checks so far. And literally I did it. I didn't like do a whole video and be like, hey, you guys, I'm going to do this. It was like, hey guys, I did this thing. How are y'all feeling? Did you feel the results from it? And literally, I had the check written and dated April 18th. And a whole bunch on the video commented and said, I actually did get money on April 18th. Yeah, I did get money and stuff like that. With all that going on, I'm just that, you know, my life's going well, and I'm making things better for other people too. And that everybody like around me has a great life. Like, I'm genuinely happy about that.
That's what you're supposed to do. That's that mother energy. Is you want all of your kids. You want all your children to have a good life. You don't want one of them to have a good life and the other one to have a bad life.
Right.
Right? You want all of them to have a good life. Now, some of them might be some assholes. They steal your babies, and you still want them to have a good life.
Hey, that's true. No, that's true. Like, literally, like you said with the child analogy, it's like that with people in general, right? So, like, me, I don't have to be emotionally tied to a person for me to still treat them right. I don't have to like you in order for me to do what needs to be done. People have had jobs. You have a coworker. You've had a coworker that you don't like, but you still work with them because that's what you get paid to do. So my job, literally being here, is to be the vessel to say certain things. Whether I like you or not, I still got to get my job done. my reward doesn't come from you. It doesn't come from anybody else besides, you know who? Big Mama. Exactly. So it's like, when I look to the Most High for whatever I need, and I don't really have to care about what other people feel, it makes my job that much easier. It's just people let emotions and feelings get in the way of the mission.
You know, your emotions is just supposed to be your navigation system. Most of us don't know that. So that's why when you get stuck in the emotion, that's like being stuck in the change oil light on your car. If you keep watching that just because it's blinking, you're going to crash.
No, because why did I buy car oil today? Oh no, that's lit. That's lit. I love that. But I love that analogy too. You really have the best analogies. You break things down to where people can understand it, of course, and then you break it down to where they can relate it to something that happens in everyday life.
Yeah, because that's the easiest thing for them to relate to.
Mm-hmm. It makes sense. And now I just been up here talking. How are you? I'm not. You're not gonna do that. Just go get away. We're not telling me how you are.
Hey, look, Ellie, your energy is like uplifting energy. Like, the people in the comments can even feel it. You know, so it's always a pleasure to have you around. So I just let you do your thing.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
We're not gonna ignore my question though.
Okay, what's the question?
How are you? Oh my goodness. I want to know.
I answered that first.
You said what?
I told you I was good.
No. I'm not just gonna accept that as the answer. I'm gonna need some details. How was your week last week? How was your weekend?
You know, on the weekend, the big event was I did the video with Black Magic 363 on YouTube, and was able to answer a lot of questions and put a lot of information out on there. I think the hardest thing for people at this point to understand is creation is fluid. It's happening in real time. Tomorrow not here yet. In order for tomorrow to get here, we got to manifest tomorrow.
Exactly.
It's a collective manifestation. That's why we all know we're going to wake up tomorrow, because we creating that shit in real time. Right? And some of the creators can see it in wave form, so they see a flat earth. And some of the creators see it in particle form, so they see a round earth. They don't make now one of them right or wrong. It just make them have a different view.
Okay.
They at a different level of creativity in their psyche. Right? So it's like you can't expect a high school or junior high school basketball player to compete with LeBron James right now. It doesn't make sense.
Right.
Right? But if you give him the time and you help him to develop, he'll be able to play in the league with the best of the best. Right? So the creator's learning how to create. You have to see it in every phase.
Right.
Right? So at your level, you might not be able to see over the infinite plane of the mind, because that's where the infinite plane is. In order to see past the infinite plane, you have to see through the slits. Right? And when you see through the slits, you see in the particle, and the particle is solidified creation. This is when we have a round earth, because we're dealing with particles now. We're no longer dealing with waves. And then you got some that can see it in the middle. It's a wavicle. Right? So if, like they say, if we on an infinite plane, what's holding it up?
Right.
Right? But the only way it can be infinite if it's the product of the mind. The mind don't have a limit. So you can't put a limit on what the mind can perceive. Right? But soon as somebody put a limit on it, that's an agreed upon manifestation of that part of creation.
That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. Like the concept of heaven.
Yeah, that's earth is heaven when we get the imposters out.
The imposters.
It has to happen that way though, right? Because we got to be able to see the deceiver when the deceiver coming, and then we got to be able to show you how they was giving out the deception. And then once you can see it, it doesn't work for them no more. They can't trick nobody no more. Their game exposed now.
That's how they are right now. Like you were saying earlier about the finances and stuff and everything crashing. Yeah, people figured it out. So once it got figured out, there's no use for it anymore.
Right. So once it runs its course is over.
Right.
Yeah. So before the invasion, women didn't have to wear no clothes if they didn't want to. They wasn't getting raped. To what they call today primitive cultures. The women don't have to wear no clothes. They ain't getting raped unless it's somebody from outside of their community.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's the difference. That's what we're trying to get back to the beginning, back to the haven called Earth instead of the hell called Earth.
It's like, okay, when you say it like that, that kind of reminds me of what they call it, the 3D, 5D split. I just say the dimensions merging at the same time. It's them separating themselves. So it's like you have the hell version of heaven and the heaven version of heaven. Would you say that all correlates?
So what happens is this. The 3D world, we want it to be here so we can experience finding our balance. The part we didn't want in the 3D world was the upsetting of the balance by the imposters. They came in and threw a monkey wrench in the good working program.
Right.
Because with that, they enslaved everybody. Right? Now, we at the part where they got to find somewhere to be because they can't stay here. And we go back to as it was in the beginning. And it's the close of the age, so shall it be in the end. So in order to close out the age, you got to take it back to the beginning, back to its purest nature.
That makes a lot of sense. And I guess that's like one of the reasons why, like, the way that things are working now with the mix of generations, I'm seeing it's really a mix of things. It'll be like generation X and Y, they're onto certain things because they understand, oh, flip-flop. This is what we did in the Matrix. This is how we're doing it when we're more spiritual and in tune. Versus it's like generation Z, and then I'm seeing like the babies and stuff, generation Alpha. It's more like, this is just the way that this goes.
I'm glad you brought up Generation Z.
Hey.
Right, because Generation Z, when you go through the alphabet, what's the last letter?
Z. According to this alphabet.
Look, in the Greek alphabet, it's Omicron. Omicron is the small o for the omega. Omega. Remember, from alpha to omega. That means from beginning to end.
Okay. Yep.
From A to O. But in English, it's not A to O, it's A to Z.
Mm-hmm.
And now we on Generation Z. Well, what would make them call this Generation Z?
It's the last one. That's it.
The
Well,
gig is
it's
up.
okay. It's yeah, like it's wrapping up their series of generations that they had. Then the fact that they made the next one Alpha, then the one after Alpha is gonna be Omega. I don't think they have a name for the one that's supposed to be after that, but it is what it is. I'm Gen Z. My son's Generation Alpha. His child, well, you know, depending on how things go, because whatever. But the next kids, they will be Generation Omega.
Because now they're going backwards. They're going backwards with the alphabet. They done exhausted the English alphabet. Now they have to go backwards to the Greek. Because the English alphabet is derived from the Greek alphabet. Right? So when we say alphabet, we saying alpha, beta. That's 2 Greek letters.
Right.
Right? So it's called the alpha beta system. The alpha beta system is from alpha to omega in Greek, but it's from A to Z in English. Right? So that the way that they deceive us is with vowels, the interchanging of vowels in translation. And that's how they can use a term like more as a all-inclusive term for varying different groups of people. And we have to identify the ones that's us, the good more. But it got to go down. The old system has to fall for the new system to rise.
Right.
They said they fucking with the live. Doesn't surprise me.
Oh yeah, it was cracking up. It was. I heard that last good sentence 100% clearly. Before that, it was choppy.
I'm gonna let you drop down, Ellie. I'm gonna take another caller before I go.
All right then. Peace and unity to you.
Thank you for coming on.
I love you.
I love you too. Thank you for coming on. Okay, I'm gonna take. I gotta go. Take one of the brothers in here. See if they let him in. Apparently, they only letting certain people come in on the live because I done accepted several people and haven't put them in. What's going on, brother?
Hey, Unity. How you doing, brother?
What's going on with you? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Oh, Discernment. You call me Dub, but I'm up here in Tacoma, Washington.
For sure. Far west.
Yeah. But you hit home on something earlier. You made me think, and when the other guy was on talking to you, and he said connect with your tribe, and I had never thought about that as far as the area I was born in, and so I just remember the name Cahokia was always a name or that stood out to me as a youngster, and so I'm like, what can you tell me on that? Because I'm like, I know you.
That word is properly pronounced Hayoka. The Hayoka is the priest. For that to be tapping on your door, that would mean that you come from the priest line.
Are you breaking up there? They don't want me to hear this, Rob.
Did you hear any of what I said?
They ain't want me to hear none of that, Rob. I already know how they do. It was like I knew that before you even pulled me up, because it was a surprise that you pulled me up, and I was like, oh, okay. See, that's just Big Mama talking, because because my cat came to the door, and then next thing I know, I was on with you, and I was like, hey, big mama, because I was like, I need to get out there and get some sunlight, you know. So
Yeah,
I already know.
I was telling you that word is properly pronounced as Hayoka. And the Hayoka is our way. Those were our high priests. They didn't live in the village with the rest of the people. They lived out. They called him the medicine man. And because he gets so much energy reads, he can't stay in close proximity to a lot of people. Am I describing you?
Hey, you hitting home, cause so I had this and it come to me in a dream, and I ended up making it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, copper.
So you really touching me right now.
Yeah, your energy. I can see your energy causing your electronics to malfunction.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you walk barefoot on the dirt?
Yes. Hey, that's one of my things. So my OG, my mom, she ascended on November 1st, right? So I went back to Wisconsin, you know, where everybody is, and they're like, you just gonna walk around here like that with the slides on? And cause I like to wear slides, so I can, if I see some grass, some dirt, some rocks or something, you know, I could ground for a little bit. I'm gonna do it. So you walk around like that all the time, and it's like it's about to snow, and I'm like, well, whatever Big Mama going through, I have to go through too. So, hey, it is what it is, you know.
Hey, so you know, then that also activates stuff in your DNA. You know, so yeah, so it's a natural. You a natural. So study all of the spirit information you can get your hands on, especially Vadum.
And say the pronunciation again for me. Ahokia.
Say Hayoka. Well, hello, people. I'm gonna give y'all a chance to get in here, and we're gonna take it from